I should be live now. I'm not really sure because my phone's on the older stream that I just did, but should be live. This character seems very, very, very stupid. I've already seen this video. I'm gonna watch it live. I'm gonna kind of go over my thoughts on it. This character kind of seems like a combination of like Brawl Meta Knight and Smash 4 Bayonetta. At least to me. I'll go over my reasoning for why I think this character will be S tier maybe. I mean, I could definitely see it happening. There's a few things that I'm going to have to lab out today to prove if he will be SS tier, because I'm gonna have to look at things like how much mana each of the spell uses, the chance of critical hits. I'm gonna be testing that. Which moves can get critical hits, because they only showed forward smash, but I'm assuming like literally every move can get critical hits, and then you have all that magic spells that can increase your damage output, and you can also get critical hits on top of that. So it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, I wasn't here whenever this actually released. I was doing some stuff off stream from like 5:30 this morning until about 30 minutes ago, so I'm pretty tired. Or it was 47 minutes ago if you want to be specific. So I was just setting up the stream within that 47 minutes. But yeah, I'm going to be streaming for a while today. We're going to be looking at the heroes. Whenever the update comes out, I will look at the patch notes and we'll get into gameplay. As soon as I get through with the patch notes, the gameplay I'm going to be doing is going to be going to training mode. I'm going to be living out which moves can get critical hits, how much MP do the moves use, MP management, the whole down B thing, like every spell in that. I'm going to be checking that out. And maybe if the character is S tier, and I have my Smash on in the background, but I have the music turned off, so it shouldn't bother. That's until I will turn it on eventually, because like right now it's silent, and it's gonna be like really awkward if I just be quiet for a minute and this whole thing's silent. But this character seems very overpowered in a lot of ways. The thing is that his down special, I think, will use a lot of mana for each of the spells, and all of those spells are like the best spells, so you can't really use them a lot, basically. But I don't know how much MP they use. Like, I'm gonna have to see how much MP they actually use, and then I'll be able to figure out something from there. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started with this video then. I'll try to get this off.
皆さんこんにちは。
Hello everyone, I'm Masahiro Sakurai, the
I think this
director of
beginning,
the Super Smash Bros.
part-
Ultimate
Or I think this beginning part's really cool while we talk about like the voice actors and stuff.
game from Sora Limited. Long time no see. The hero from Dragon Quest is joining the battle, and that means I have some new information to share with you.
I'm gonna turn it down a
Usually,
bit so
we
maybe I can
prepare a
talk
script
over
for
it and
Nintendo
it'll be
Direct.
good. I'm hoping that the
And we
audio
have
will be
editors
good
put various
for that.
cuts together, but this time,
If the
I'd like
frame
to
rate
take more of
drops
a
a
live
lot,
stream approach and present it myself.
Expect that, but I don't think it will. I'll be watching my video previews.
We don't have much of a budget for this. While I discuss, I'll be playing with the controller as well. I hope you enjoy it.
Hey. But yes, I have
But
already
before we
seen
get
this.
into it, I should mention
had
that the
enough time
Dragon
to
Quest
watch
series began in 1986. It's an iconic Japanese role-playing game. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Dragon Quest was what popularized RPGs in Japan, and beyond that, it's a top-notch game that's become a cultural phenomenon.
I had
The
never
latest
heard of
entry in the
Dragon.
series
I'd
is
heard
Dragon
of it, I
Quest
think,
XI
from the
S Echoes
signs,
of
but
an
that's
Elusive
pretty much
Age
it. Like,
Definitive
I've heard of
Edition,
Dragon
which is
Quest before
releasing
this.
soon on Nintendo Switch, so please look forward to it.
And then the rumors of the
Today,
character being
I'll be
DLC.
playing the development version of the ROM, so there may be parts where the camera seems different from the version you have at home. I hope you understand.
And I will be pausing it to go over some things.
Here's a lineup of all 4 heroes.
This is probably the one that I'm going to be using a lot. I'll probably switch between these two most of the time whenever I play the hero, because I just like their designs. A little bit more than these two. This one kind of looks like a pirate to me, and this one's green. And it doesn't really make sense what I'm looking at here. Although this one does have that little thing in its pocket. I forget what it's called, but I really do like that. But I think I'll just stick to these two characters. I'm not really hyped to play the hero or anything like that. The thing that I'm most excited about from this DLC pack is actually the stage, because the stage looks so cool. But I'll get more into that I guess it's not going to be a competitively legal stage, though, without it being in Final Destination or Battlefield forms. So that's okay, I guess, because I mean, you can do that in tournaments, I believe. I'll at least allow it inside of viewer battles and things like that, but yeah.
I think to some, this scene alone might seem pretty astonishing. This one is the hero from Dragon Quest XI-S, the one that's releasing soon. The 16-year-old was dubbed the Darkspawn, and he wields a weapon called the Supreme Sword of Light. Now for the hero from Dragon Quest III. This is the hero Erdrick, and he's 16 years old. He's equipped with Erdrick's sword. Actually, in 3 and 11, the hero's shield designs are almost identical, but we've changed them up a bit. It's all in the details. Next, the hero from Dragon Quest IV,
Yeah, 'cause it's
Chapters
really
of the
hard to
Chosen.
differentiate
This
between the
17-year-old
heroes.
is the ancestor of the bride from Dragon Quest V, Hand of the Heavenly Bride. He's equipped with the Zenithian sword. Lastly, the hero from Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King, an 18-year-old who isn't affected by the curse. Munchie is in his pocket, and as a former royal guardsman, he's equipped with the Dragovian King sword. That said, it may be a bit tough to distinguish them using just the name hero. So if you want to refer to each of them individually, here are their names.
From what I've heard from rumors, this is what the names I'm going to give the two that I play. I haven't heard anything about these two characters. I know this one's called 8. I don't remember this one's name. But this one is called Erdrick, and this one was referred to as the Luminary. So I'm just going to refer to these two characters as that. But I'll call this one 8, and then this one will be the green one, I guess, because I think this one has the green one has a Japanese name that I can't pronounce.
The hero from 11S is 11. The hero from 3 is Arusu. The hero from 4 is Solo. And the hero from 8.
Okay, so, Solo 8, the Luminary, and Erdrick. Because, they said something about Erdrick's sword. I thought the character was originally Erdrick, but it was actually this character, the Luminary. So I've heard both these names. Like, I've heard that the Luminary is the protagonist of Dragon Quest XI, and that Erdrick's the protagonist of one of the older Dragon Quest games. Then, I didn't hear anything about these from rumors, but I literally have, like, no idea about Dragon Quest at all, so if I'm naming the characters wrong, that's just kind of what I'm calling them to remember them, because I don't want to say 11, and, whatever this is, Arusu, I guess. But Solo and 8 are pretty easy to remember as well.
8 is
So I
8.
might go with those names.
You can use these names to reference them if you'd like. Also, they each have a color variation. The coloring and design of these variations
I really like this, color, and this one. But the, Solo has another really weird color scheme of, like, orange and blue, and I just don't really like that color
are
scheme,
based
I
on
guess.
characters from the series. Can you guess who they are? This is actually the very first time that the heroes from the Dragon Quest series have been able to fight each other. It was allowed to finally happen in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and for that, I am very grateful. Each hero has a different voice actor, and I'd like to introduce them now.
See, I really like this part.
Here they are. The hero from 11 is Mitsuki Saiga. This hero speaks in 11S, but the action in this game is different, so her voice acting needed a bit more oomph. The hero from 3 is played by Nobuyuki Hiyama. You might say the King of Braves is playing the hero, but he voiced Link in the original Super Smash Bros. And Super Smash Bros. Melee games, so you could say he was already
I
a
don't like
hero.
this part, I guess. That's the
He's
wrong word.
definitely a
I
pro,
find this part
and out of all the voice
interesting, I guess.
actors, his recording session went the fastest.
But yeah, I'm talking over it. I'll stop.
The hero from 4 is voiced by Takeshi Kusao. He's a veteran voice actor and asks for a lot of detail on the backstory of his character, and this has carried over into his performance. The hero from 8 is voiced by Yuki Kaji. It was apparently a dream of his to do voice work for the Super Smash Bros. And the Dragon Quest series, so he was happy to have both dreams come true at once. The heroes from 3, 4, and 8 are being voiced for the first time in the series, and calling out the spell names is also the series first.
Okay, now here's the part that I'm interested in.
Now, let's get a look at these fighters in action. The animations are a bit more energetic than the standard sword users, since we aim to match the style of Akira.
Okay, so we had like a down tilt there into a jab block. So that's his jab. A lot of people thought that was his forward tilt, but his forward tilt, I'm assuming, looks like Roy's jab. Or maybe they just did a jab block into forward tilt. I guess that's also a thing. And there was down smash.
Sometimes
Forward
the
smash
hero
is
smash
based off
attack
of, like,
result in a critical hit. It happens at random,
But yeah, this is a very dumb mechanic in my opinion.
but when it does, you'll perform an extra strong attack.
Alright. There was no DI there. I'm pretty sure Sakurai is actually playing against himself in the scene. Because I've seen a picture of him on like Reddit or something, and he's holding 2 controllers at once. So I'm pretty sure it's happening during this scene. And, oh wait, I can actually maybe go back to here whenever it spawns. See?
Sometimes the hero smash attack result in a critical hit. It happens at
Oh, wait,
random,
no,
but when
I
it
guess
does,
it did.
you'll perform an extra
No,
strong.
wait, he's playing with 2 right now. So if this will move out of the way, I don't think it can. But he's actually using 2 controllers here. He's using one, up a bit higher than the other one, but he's using a pro controller, so it's kind of hard to tell.
These critical hits
But
actually
yeah, I've
match
already
the
seen
look
it in a
of the
meme. It's
critical
like
hits in
Sakurai
various
winning a
installments of the
tournament
series.
against a pro player using 2 controllers.
Note the subtle nuances.
But yeah, so my first test, I guess, with the hero is going to be what are the chances of critical hits. Or no, I'll do what moves can get critical hits, because I'm pretty sure in RPGs like Pokemon, I guess, is pretty much the only one I can compare that I've played to this game. Maybe Final Fantasy VII, but any move can get a critical hit. I was recently, like, I just decided to play Pokemon X, and was doing like a Wonder Lock, which is where you have to trade the first Pokemon you get into a Wonder Trade, and like every Pokemon you catch, you have to do that with. And then, if they die permanently. In a Wonder Trade, basically people will just put in some garbage Pokemon in Wonder Trade, and then that's what you get. I'm also doing something with like no evolutions, but in one of my first battles, or it was like the first trainer battle, not the first, or no, I think that was actually the first battle. My opponent only got critical hits, and I immediately failed, and I just restarted from there. Like, I just traded both my Pokemon that I had into Wonder Trade. So it's not like a true Nuzlocke. So you'd actually have to reset, but I just didn't want to sit through like 20 minutes of cutscenes at the beginning of Pokemon X again, because I've done it a lot. But yeah, any move can get a critical hit is what I'm trying to say, basically. And if that's a thing, then Kamikaze can get a critical hit. That one move, the Twack, I think it's what it's called. I'll see the pronunciation later in the video. That can get a critical hit, and I'm wondering how that's going to work. Or I don't think that can actually get a critical hit, because it's kind of like a status move in that game, like Thunder Wave, which basically just paralyzes the opposing Pokemon. It doesn't do any damage, but I'm guessing it's something like that, except it just has a chance to kill people in this game. It's more effective than Game & Watch's 9, but I'm assuming the chances are much lower of it actually happening. And I will be trying to test all the RNG stuff, basically, in this stream, whenever it releases. I've heard it's releasing at 6, and that is in 1 hour for me, so 6 CT. Although I should test now just to see if it's out. Okay, yeah, it's not out yet. So, yeah, I'll be watching that, I guess, and testing it every once in a while. Because it is coming out tonight. I heard that it was coming out yesterday from, like, Nintendo of Europe and stuff, as what got leaked, but, I guess the release date moved up a day. So, yeah, that's the thing.
The hero is equipped with a shield, which can block very.
Now, see, this is another thing that makes the hero really good. He can basically just approach for free. He's also got the, or I guess projectile characters, I mean, not really approach for free. I need to see how fast his movement speed is. I guess this, Battlefield will be a good test, and I'll try to test that, after we watch this video, if the update doesn't come out. But I want to see, like, what his movement speed is, outside of the speed up movement speed thing. but just his general movement speed. Because if he's a slower character, that's definitely going to hurt him. But he's got a lot of other factors working towards his favor. It's being like an SS tier character like this. So the shield can just block pretty much any projectile. There's another thing that also blocks projectiles that he has that I was kind of referring to. I forget what it's called though. It'll show up later in the video. And this basically works like Link's shield, I'm assuming. So it just blocks any projectiles that makes contact in front of the hero. So like Metal Blade. I don't think it will block Leaf Shield. I'll have to test that with Link, but I don't think it will block Leaf Shield. Crash Bomber. I'm just thinking of Mega Man projectiles, because I do main the character. Or at least currently I main the character. Guess we'll have to see what happens in the next patch. But, pretty much any projectile that will hit, or that's like small enough to be able to be blocked by the shield realistically, that's what's going to happen, I guess, is a way to put it. So, like, you can't block explosions, but you can block, like, boomerangs and metal blades and things like that. PK fires, for example. So, you won't have to worry about online Nesses or Lucases if that's a problem for you. Like, I don't like, Ness spamming PK fire, but I do, alright, I don't like Ness doing it, but I don't really mind it with Lucas, because Lucas is a bit more annoying to me, as I kind of talked about, in my last viewer battle session. But yeah, this just seems pretty strange, I guess, in OP. Or not OP, but something to make the character a bit more OP. And then
His forward tilt?
okay, so that is his forward tilt. So you can also use forward tilt to attack and still block projectiles, which is something. It basically just means that you can spam forward tilt in neutral while you're trying to approach an opponent that's trying to zone you out. Oh, and all of Simon and Richter's projectiles can be blocked by the shield, except I think Holy Water, which you can just jump over. So yeah, that's also a thing.
Is a shield
Like,
dash.
the shields are really good for blocking projectiles, and it's really hard to to actually block the axe from Simon and Richter, in case you're wondering. You can block it, but it's a lot more difficult than blocking other projectiles, like the cross.
Attack that can also be used to block
ちょっとだけ
projectiles.
打ち出しやすいかもしれないです。
And it looks
His
like
neutral
it's
special is the
training
Frizz
weapon
family
for
of
sure.
spells.
So these
Frizz,
seem okay. They just seem like somewhat decent
Frizzle.
projectiles.
and Kafrizz.
So I'm guessing that's kind of like the Arc Thunder, or whatever it's called, the fully charged neutral special for Robin, but the other two just seem like some of the earlier charging stages. This last one, it kind of seems like the third charging stage, except the damage output and knockback is increased, is what I'm guessing. But it also used about 50% of the MP, so...
You can stop your charge in the middle by shield.
And I also like this, or it's really good for the hero, I guess. If I main the hero, then I will like this, but you can resume charging it, like you can stop charging it while shielding and then resume charging it later. So that will allow you to build it up. And it has a pretty fast charge time as well. I think it's like around Samus's charge shot.
Shielding, and then you can resume
And it's
charging
kind of like
again.
that as well, the fully charged
Then
version.
you could store the full charge until you're ready to unleash it at any time. However, even if you've charged up a Kafrizz, nothing will happen if you don't have enough MP at the time, so be careful.
But here's the interesting thing about that. You can see he can still try to shoot it after failing to shoot it, so that means that you can keep it fully charged whenever... Okay, so let's say you used that one move that uses all of your MP, and then you just charge this thing to full afterwards while your opponent's recovering. That's the thing you can do, and then whenever your MP builds up to like about 50 MP, which it does take a while to build, but it should be able to build up, as long as you're not at like 100% and you knock your opponent off. But in this scenario, if you're not at 100%, I guess, you should be able to build it up, and then just fire it whenever, so that you can have like two really powerful
Hero's side
attacks
special
with that
produces
bar.
zap type spells. Enter the command
That seems like a really good way to just stop someone from approaching you. Like, if you think someone's going to try to combo, you can just throw out a slide special, and it looks really fast. Like, it doesn't look like it has that much inline.
quickly for a zap, which is a good way to keep opponents in check.
Yeah.
Hold it down a little longer for a zapple.
And that one, I don't really know how that works. I can't tell if he's like aiming it and it's gonna land where the opponent is, or if it's just has a set distance and then it knocks you like towards that set distance and then it has like a super powerful hit, or if you can be hit by the weaker hits and then completely miss the super powerful hit, or at least in comparison, because it's not
Which has a
strong
pretty good reach.
compared
And
to
if you
the
charge it up
fully
all the way,
charged.
you'll
Now, how much damage did that do?
special produces zap type spells. Enter the
Okay, so
command
this one does
quickly
about
for a
12,
zap,
that's
which is a
decent.
good way to keep opponents in check. Hold it down a little longer for a zapple, which has a pretty good reach. And if you charge it up all the
Okay,
way,
so I think that one did about 20, and then it could also be stealth. This one looks like a two-part move. You might be able to parry the first hit and then get hit by a second hit, so you have to parry twice, maybe. But this basically just seems like Link's up B, I guess. Is what it makes me think of.
you'll
at
let
least.
loose a kazap.
And it went from what 32 to 70, so it does like 38 damage. That's really good.
Each of these spells imbues your sword
Oh,
with
sorry, didn't
lightning
mean
to
pause.
power up your attacks. Next is the Whoosh family of
And
spells,
it didn't really use that much MP in comparison. I think he had
which
like
can be
around
used for
60.
recovery.
Or, hold on, let me
Performing
actually
a short
see.
up, each of these spells for a
How much
zap,
MP he
which is a
used.
good way to keep
Okay, so he
opponents
has
in check.
about 80.
Hold it down a little longer for a zapple,
Okay, so
which
that's
has a pretty
60
good
now.
reach. And if you charge it up all the way,
So yeah, it used about 50-ish MP, which is about the same
let
as the
loose
fully
a
charged
zap.
neutral special.
each of these
And-
spells imbues your sword with lightning.
They didn't say it, but I think it can be charged, like how they did with the neutral special. Wait, maybe they showed it a bit in the video and I just didn't
Which
notice
has a
it.
pretty good reach.
So let me see.
And if you charge it up all the way,
Okay, so they flash for a second. I don't know if that means that it got fully charged and then they unleashed it, or if they unleashed it while it was like fully charged. Like if you do a Samus charge shot and then as soon as it's fully charged you fire it. Like I don't know if that's what happened or if they had it charged for a second and then it was just fast enough or something like
you'll
that.
let loose a kazap.
Can't really tell from
Each
that.
of these spells imbues your sword with lightning to power up your attacks.
Okay, so I don't know if that means that the side special gets stronger, or if it actually stores the charge and then your sword starts doing more damage. I'll have to test that, because he didn't show any hits or anything. And if that's the case, then like imagine that a critical hit, forward smash, fully charged, with the one hit only powered up spell. Like that's Incineroar Max Revenge Tipper forward smash level damage output.
Next is the Whoosh family of spells, which can be used for recovery. Performing a short up special results in a whoosh.
Okay, now
Charging
here's
it
what I think they use to balance the hero. Because so far, the things I think that they've currently shown that will balance out the hero is weight, speed. I haven't really been able to tell the speed, but I'm gonna guess that he's kind of a slower character, if not like about a medium speed character. It's like somewhere around Piranha Plant speed because he's medium, but somewhere in that range. And his up B will use mana, so that means he has to have the
A little bit
MP.
results in a swoosh. In charging it up all the
But that only used about 10 MP there, and it
way,
covered a
results
decent
in a
distance. And that one used about 18, I think, because it was at like 38 and then went down to 20, unless I saw that wrong. So, if it does use 20, that's like a fifth of his MP, which sounds like a lot, but then you realize that it charges
You can
that
only
fast.
store a charge with frizz type spells. A whoosh
Oh, you can only charge with Frizz type. So that's the fire one, I'm guessing, because that's the only one that he showed
is
charging.
fairly stunted, requiring only a little MP.
Yeah, see, that one
A
used like
swoosh actually provides a bit more lateral movement.
used about 9.
A kaswoosh allows you to recover,
Okay,
even
so that
if
one
you
used
fall
about
pretty
20
far.
then. I'm just guessing. I'm not
Also,
doing that.
whoosh type spells can blow enemies into the air.
So that's going to be really good out of shield, because it's really fast and it doesn't really use that much mana. It's also going to be useful
That way,
in
you
that
can
type of
interfere with
scenario
the
with
punch.
edge guarding. But I don't think it's going to have enough knockback to be able to be like untechable or anything for a while, or like get to the point to where if you miss the tech, then you can't recover if you have a really good recovery, like if you're Pikachu or something. Of course, they could just nerf Pikachu's recovery in the latest patch,
Next is Hero's down
because
special,
the patch
Command
is similar
Slash.
now. I do want to look at them.
His down special pulls up a random list of commands.
Here's the
Doing so allows you to use a spell or other move.
interesting part, I guess.
Oomph simply raises your attack power.
So this is kind of like
With a
Buster
fully charged smash
for
attack.
Monado. And it increases the fully charged smash attack to 40% instead of, I think, 20. So, about double damage. If not, it was at 30 and it's slightly more damage. But then it can also be
It
critted
can
and
deal
things
this
like
much
that
damage.
as well. But then they also have the
Now for Psych Up.
Psych Up, this one.
It increases the power of your next attack.
This one, as you can see, it only works on like one hit, but it makes it a lot more stronger than Oomph, because Oomph works on multiple hits, this one just works for one. So
The difference between this one and Oomph
Yeah, I guess
is that it
they're
can only be
explaining
used
here.
once, but the effect lasts until your attack finishes, even if you miss. Next up, Bounce.
now this, okay, so the hero already has a shield just to be able to approach projectile-based characters. Now he has a reflector, but not only a normal
It reflects your
reflector,
opponent's spells and other projectiles.
but he can move around with the reflector still active. So, you can just move around for free against projectile characters. Like characters that are going to zone you
If
out
you both
become
cast Bounce,
no
this
threat
will happen.
at all.
The effect of the reflect will be exponential.
And yeah, that's just the usual reflect thing where, it's kind of the same thing with, like, Pocket, with Villager. If you pocket a tree, you can eventually pocket it to the point where it can't be pocketed anymore because the damage output's too great, and then it will just one-shot the opponent. Villager can also do, I think, like, it's either up tilt or down tilt to tree from the pocket, so that's kind of a scary thing if you, like, amplify the tree's damage. I haven't tested that combo, but I saw it a while ago. I don't remember the exact inputs. I think it was up smash tree maybe as well. But yeah, then you can also just
He'll
heal.
let you-
I'm assuming this is more like a Kirby heal rather than a Wii Fit trainer or Robin heal. At least that's what I'm hoping. Although we don't
reduce
see
your
the
damage
hero
percent.
actually heal any damage because he's already at 0% whenever he uses
Flame
it.
Slash can spread damage to a wide area in
And
front
this
of
one just increases the
you. Grapple
range.
Slash can freeze opponents.
It looks like these moves, whenever you select them, instantly do like a forward smash attack. And this one also seems to have a decent amount of range. Like your forward smash in general has a good amount of range because you have a sword. The flame one, I'm assuming, has a bit more range, but maybe less damage. And then this one will freeze your opponent, as it says.
Accelerator significantly increases your speed.
Okay, so that was, I think, a bit faster than Piranha Plant. So he's above average, if he is. Or if that's like a good comparison of his movement speed, I guess. He looks a lot faster than Piranha Plant's running speed. And then with the Monado, or not the Monado, I think it's slightly worse than Monado with this speed, potentially. It could be either even or better, but I'm not really sure because I don't know how much a Monado actually affects characters, because it can only be used on Shulk and Kirby. But the interesting thing is Kirby is only going to have the neutral B of Hero, so that'll be kind of strange.
Kaboom sets off a mighty explosive spell.
I'm assuming that this one has more knockback than damage output, but because the hero was at a low percent, it doesn't really do that much knockback. Yeah, I mean, it still did a decent amount. if I
Snooze
speak.
puts opponents to sleep. That way, you can follow it up with a beefy attack. Maybe something like Hatchet Man.
Yeah. Okay, so Hatchet Man, it looks like it instantly crits, but you don't get to fully charge a crit, is what I'm thinking is happening here. So you get the minimum damage output of a crit, which is 35%. And I don't know if that's stale or not from having already used the down special with Snooze.
And then there's Thwack.
So yeah, you can actually put people to sleep and then use this. This uses 30 MP, it looks like, so that's a decent amount of MP. I think that's the most MP any moves use except for like a fully charged neutral B or something like that.
This fearsome spell could potentially KO an opponent in one hit. However, the opponent's damage percentage will ultimately determine
So this is basically like a Game & Watch 9, except you don't have to be at like 10% for it to kill.
In the effect. So if their damage percentage is low, it's less likely to activate.
But yeah, it's less likely.
Zoom.
Now this is the Brawl Meta Knight part of Hero. I'll have to see his combo to see if he has Smash 4 Bayo in him as well. But Zoom just allows you to recover for free. It puts you up into the top blast zone, and then you can fall. And it looks like he has a pretty slow fall speed. Or no, he has... I can't really tell, because that could just be accelerated from the zoom thing. But it has a decent amount of landing lag, from what I can see here.
This spell is well suited for recovery.
And it only uses 8 MP, so it actually uses less MP than the strong up B, I guess. I forget what it's called. It's called like whoosh or something. But it uses less MP than that, and it sends him... Like, you can't really see the radar, or you can't even see him on the radar. So I'm guessing he's high enough to where... I mean, usually whenever you're high enough on the radar where you can't see yourself, like, move... Like, usually you can be, like, in the middle of the radar like that and then move around. If you're usually too high for the radar, then you'll kind of just, like, sit at the top, but it'll show, like, what horizontal, like, place you're at, but it won't show what vertical place you're at because you're a bit too high for the camera, I guess. Even though that goes a bit beyond the camera, you're a bit too high for the camera beyond the camera, I guess.
As
But then you're just
demonstrated, it
instantly
lets
on
you
the
recover
ground.
from anywhere, but you may hit your head on the ceiling.
Oh, okay. So that means that you can't recover from underneath the stage. And I didn't know that. I thought it was just you could recover. Because he said recover from anywhere. That's all that I caught on
Kerclang.
whenever I watched it earlier.
When you cast the spell, you become impervious to attacks. But watch out for a Metal Slash. Metal Slash is a skill that can KO a metal opponent in
So, I guess Sakurai's already like, okay, so pretty much every match from here on out, if the hero is S tier, is just going to be the hero versus a hero, so they can't star you out. Because I'm pretty sure that would actually work against the hero pretty well if you had a stall tactic like that. So we're going to give them Metal Slash just to make sure
One
you can't
hit.
even do that.
Hocus Pocus is a
But you can literally do that with every other character in the game.
spell with unpredictable effects. Oh, looks like it slowed me down.
And this spell seems useless. I'll have to see what all the effects are,
But not all of its effects are bad.
because it says both good and bad effects can occur, but you already have all the other spells, like the Kamikaze, that's the last one that's shown after this one. You have the metal spell, you have the critical hits, the oomph, the move up in the sky. You have like the zoom, I guess is what that's called. We have every other spell that you can use. So there's pretty much zero reason to use this one. Unless it
Sometimes.
gives you some kind of super broken buff.
Good things happen too.
Which, I mean, like, the spells are really good. They already have pretty strong effects. But,
Magic first.
no wait, it's the one after this one, I guess.
As you can see, my MP is depleting rapidly because the spell uses all your remaining MP to deal massive damage.
And that's not even the maximum damage. I'm assuming the maximum damage is 50, but Sakurai only had 96 MP. He wasn't at a full 100.
The amount of MP you have will determine how effective it is. And finally, Kamikaze. This spell produces an extremely
This uses 1 MP.
powerful explosion.
It had a
But it's
very
al-
long charge, and it was unable to kill the hero at like 20. So this one seems kind
Also
of useless.
results-
Like, if you accidentally misclick and then get Kamikaze, then that's kind of bad. I mean, I guess that's a way to balance the hero, but not really.
Self-destruction. He has many different special moves. In fact, of all the fighters, Hero has the highest number of them in the game.
I mean, there's also Kirby, but I guess Kirby only has one neutral special. Then you also have Shulk, but he has more than Shulk, actually, but,
You can close the command selection before choosing a spell by pressing the R button.
yeah, so that seems good, actually. So if you're about to accidentally hit Kamikaze, or... Because basically they said that it's a random, and it looks like you have 4 to choose from. It's just a random set of 4. So if Kamikaze's even on that menu, what I would do is I would just shield instantly and then just get rid of it. And because every time that you down me, it's going to be random, so you can just refresh to get one that doesn't even have Kamikaze as like an option, just to not have a chance of accidentally using Kamikaze. Like Kamikaze seems so slow that it will barely be able to edgeguard Fox's up B if he starts the up B and he starts a Kamikaze at the same time. I could be wrong about that, but it also isn't that strong in terms of knockback. I could also be wrong about that.
That way, you can try
You
again
could just have to be at like 100% and then it will just instantly kill your opponent as well, but he didn't mention if it kills you or your opponent first.
and hope for a different set
That's
of
another
spells.
thing to check.
That's his final smash, Giga Slash.
But yeah, then
and
you have
it's
the
no
final
mere
smash
pizzazz.
thing. But
This
then-
move calls upon all the past protagonists to lend the hero their
And actually, I haven't seen like the last 10 minutes of this. Or, I mean, I've seen the stage, and then after that, I clicked off. So I will be watching the rest of it just to see
power
what it
for
is.
one mighty blow.
I was only interested in the hero stuff and Dragon Quest stuff, I guess.
This attack has a high vertical range, and if it's within 4 in-game meters, it will connect.
I'm glad that this character came out before I do my World of Light Spiritless speedrun. Oh, and I saw that there is a very easy mode that's added. I might do that for the speedrun, so that way I just can go through. But it
The
depends on
command
how
selection
easy
move
very
is
easy
unlike
is.
any other
Like
in the
if
game.
very easy
It
is
may
level
be a
1
bit hard to
CPUs,
imagine how
then
it works,
I will
so
be
I'll
doing
fight a
easy
CPU
or
opponent for a while.
maybe normal. It's just that, okay, so in Spiritless, you can die in one hit in hard. And this is like the first, like I'm pretty sure I'm the first person to even attempt a World of Light Spiritless speedrun. As far as I've heard, like I even looked it up yesterday after I mentioned it. And I've kind of been thinking about some strategies and like I was planning on doing some routing today for the speedrun, but now 4.0 is coming out. So I'm not going to be able to do that. But playing on easy is going to be much faster than playing on normal or hard. So if we're just going for pure speed, then easy is the way to go. Very easy is going to be even faster than that, I'm assuming. But even like easy, spiritless, the boss fights are still much harder than the hard boss fights with like level 1 spirits. Just like in comparison. And I will be using the skill tree as well. In that speedrun. It's just going to be spiritless, not skill treeless. But here's some gameplay, I guess. On the stage as well. So I really
I'm
like this
fighting
stage.
the Yggdrasil's
Like the
altar.
background. So
I'm the hero from 8, and the CPU is the hero from 4. The stage starts off on this platform, which begins to rise.
that was dash attack there, neutral B. Keeps
You
rolling
can use
back at
Frizz
neutral
to
B.
keep opponents in check without charging. I'll use Zappo from a distance.
Okay, so that wasn't even the fully charged
The
up B.
CPU's counterattacks are pretty good. I think I'll try a command selection.
I wonder what level Sakurai is playing against. Wait, he jumped out of the way of the snooze, but he still fell asleep. I don't know if that means that whenever you're in the air, you can fall asleep now, or if snooze can make you fall asleep in the air. And either like one sounds really bad to like play against, because you can just be camping out the hero with projectiles somehow, even though he has like other things that will make it very hard for you to camp him out. If you're somehow doing that, he can just put you to sleep, and you have to like double jump out of the way, or be out of the way, and then you're vulnerable to being punished, because it doesn't look like it has that much like ending lag on them.
Good stuff. Kaboom. I'm a little low on MP, so I'm going to attack to refill it.
Wait. That was not a mechanic that he had mentioned, so I had no idea, because I listened to this without audio, basically.
Good stuff.
Or not listen, but I watched this without audio. So, he's at 20
Boom.
MP,
I'm a little low on MP,
22,
so I'm going to
and he hits him, and he gets 11 MP. So whenever you hit your opponent, and I'm assuming whenever you take damage as well, it will make your MP refill faster. So you can't really camp them out forever, but you can get pretty close, because even the MP refilling on its own is pretty fast.
But meanwhile, the CPU
But yeah, that gave him about 20 MP.
filled up their final smash meter.
Also, Sakurai plays on time. But yeah, he went for the downer there. You gotta respect that. I had seen a meme on that as well, where now it's called like the Sakurai Spike or something along those lines. So, he went for the Sakurai Spike.
Not going to let him use it.
And then he said I'm not going to let him use it as well. I didn't know that. But this stage looks so nice in the background. It reminds me a lot of I'm gonna stop pausing it pretty soon, but it reminds me a lot of the Breath of the Wild stage, Great Plateau Town.
Oh.
Okay, so up smash got a critical hit, so that's really bad, because that means that the hero will be able to get critical hits on every smash attack. So,
Oh, a critical hit.
I mean, we haven't seen down smash get a critical hit yet, but I'm assuming because up smash and forward smash can get crits, and down smash can as well. And, if tilts can get crits, that probably means that specials can get crits as well. And if specials can get crits, then that's very bad. Obviously, you can use a special for crit. Oh wait, that was the healing thing, so I actually need to see how much you heal. It doesn't really use that much MP either to heal.
Oh, a critical hit.
Okay, so from 41.3, it used 7 MP, knocked them down to 30. So it did about 11%. Yeah, it was 41.3 to 30.3, so that's 11% healed. So it is actually really good.
Heal.
Like if you're at 100%, then now you're at 90%.
I'll go ahead
or
and
I
use
guess 89% if you're at 100.
Laredo,
You know what I mean?
and the final smash. Hope I can finish him off. Nice. Oops, I used Hatchet Man. But
you
ended
also
up blocking a
blocked it.
projectile with it.
Oh yeah, I guess you said that. But you also
Oh.
blocked that.
Platform.
So now Sakurai's gonna camp him out on the platform.
Is he going to do it? Ooh, he got me.
Yeah, that's game over.
I was
Unless it
trying to
wants
counterattack with
baby.
his Crackle Slash, but he got me.
Yeah,
And
it
at the edge
sends
of the
out.
screen, no less. In
Not
these
that that's gonna
free-for-all
matter.
battles, it's pretty...
I mean, I guess for White Scheme, it
Oh,
might matter.
time's up.
So, his movement speed seems about above average. I could be wrong about that, it could be below average. But it's going to be somewhere in the average range, which is much better than Robin. He's basically just a very good version of Robin. And has, like, Roy's sword, basically. Also, I like the victory theme. Yeah, this is just going on about the stage. This doesn't really pertain anything to Smash. I've already seen it. The video's on YouTube. Here's the title of the video if you want to just see the stage, but sure that's not the most interesting thing. There's them standing still, looking at all the backgrounds and stuff on the stage. Oh, I left-clicked. That's great.
You'll get an item.
So yeah, this is why the stage can't be illegal, by the way. Not only because the platform spawns over there, but there's also a mimic that can spawn, and a regular chest as well.
Although Yggdrasil's altar is based on the world of 11S, I felt it would be unfortunate to have only 1 or 2 songs from that game.
Cough cough. Square Enix Final Fantasy VII.
So instead, we decided to compile a collection of field and battle tunes for each hero. Here's what it looks like. Players who have an emotional attachment to specific music tracks can use the My Music feature to pick their favorite ones to play.
The reveal trailer music for the hero, I did like that song, but that's pretty much the only Dragon Quest song that I've heard other than the victory theme music. So.
Of course, you can also enjoy them by using the sound test feature. You won't be able to select the famous prelude that way, but the end of the prelude will play during the hero's victory screen.
Oh wait, is the prelude the reveal trailer? So that means the prelude's not in Smash?
We've also added other content, including something for the Spirit Board,
So yeah, they're the
so please look out for that as well.
I'll be doing that at some point as well. Or not
Hero
that,
will be
but-
available on Tuesday,
Or I'll probably
July
do the Spirit Board thing, and I will be doing the classic route as well.
30th.
I might even do that before labbing with the hero, just to get in some
If you have the
battles.
Fighter's Pass, you
But yeah, I'm assuming that Banjo and Kazooie are going to come out much faster than the hero and Joker, because we've already seen gameplay on Banjo Kazooie. So I think that they will release much faster than these two did in terms of fall 2019. because this was spring 2019, summer 2019. I think this will be like early mid fall, basically. So not like early fall, but kind of in the middle part of fall. It's on the early side, I guess.
You should be able to get it
If
right
that
away.
makes sense.
We're also
Like if it was the number 5, it would be a 2. Or if it was like 1 to 5, it'd be a 2, sorry. Not the number 5.
planning to make him available individually for $5.99.
And then 3 would be, like the middle one would be early. I think
We're
it would be
also
somewhere
adding
around
in
there.
new Mii Fighter costumes.
If not, then
Please
it'll be
take a look.
sometime in the middle. If I had to guess. And I probably will buy these as well, because they're not that expensive, and it's just cool to have them, I guess. I bought them with, the Joker. Or not the Joker, but Joker's, costumes. Like I bought the Sonic ones and stuff like that as well. I'll probably never use them, but I'll still have them. See, whenever I saw this, I didn't see that, X, Shovel Knight thing. I just saw, or not X Shovel Knight, but X Dragon Quest. I didn't see that. I just saw, like, the legs on the armor, and I thought there was a Shovel Knight Mii costume. But then I was disappointed. I've never played Shovel Knight, but I like the character, and I want to try the game at some point, because it looks really fun. Wait, was that Erdrick, actually? Oh, I didn't mean to mute, but... Was that Erdrick? That night guy? Because if so, then I got the name wrong, and I'll just call them... Erdrick Seal, probably. Because I don't really care. Or bother with their names, I guess. I don't really care about it that much. Maybe I'll just call them the hero, because I know that that one's the luminary for sure. Sorry that I don't know the Dragon Quest characters. I've never played the game, so... Oh wait, I need to see if the update's out. I'm gonna do that while this is playing. Don't do that. Let's just...
Along with Hero, the version 4.0 update will also be available.
Okay, so yeah, there's nothing here. So this is interesting.
There will now
I
be a
guess.
time limit on the Final Smash meter. That'll make it harder to use your attack range to play a waiting game, so I think it's better to just use your Final Smash when it's ready. It will stick around for a while, and you'll be able to tell how long you have by looking at the meter, which will deplete over time.
Okay, that's helpful. They should do that with Cloud's Limit as well. But yeah, I heard about
We're
this.
also adding a very
Very
easy
easy.
difficulty to Adventure Mode, so if a battle's just too difficult for you to clear, or if you simply want to have a relaxing time playing, please try it out.
And this sounds interesting as well. I did
Another
hear
new
about this,
feature will let you try and predict the winner during spectator mode.
I've read something on some article
Then you
about
can
it.
exchange the points you accumulate for an item.
Yeah, I don't really
Even
care
if your
about that. I
prediction
just
is
want to
wrong,
get
there's
a lot
nothing
of
to
points,
lose,
'cause that sounds
so I
fun,
suggest supporting
just to do a
fighters with
stream
your heart's content.
where you watch characters battle online and then bet on them.
An online tourney mode will also be added in. To enter an in-game tourney, all you have to do is select the mode. The rules are preset, but they'll change periodically. I hope you enter these tourneys over and over.
This is actually not as great as it might sound competitively. All of these people will have to connect to each other on the internet. So, it's going to be a very laggy mess. Also, I don't think it will have a competitive rule set due to that. I was hoping that they would add some stuff to the VR mode, like add a stock mode, rather than just only being allowed to play with time. But I guess they're
We
not
also
doing
plan
that.
to hold special event tourneys from time to time.
See, the event tourneys sound interesting, though.
What's more, there are other new additions, like being able to insert screenshots into the videos you edit,
Oh,
and being able to consecutively play videos that have been added to shared content.
oh, so kind of like the
Plus,
autoplay
there are
feature on
new
YouTube.
amiibo available now. Isabelle, Pokemon Trainer, and Pichu. Each one will be available in a yellowish package,
So how is she
keep
gonna
an eye
get
out for
nerfed
them.
today? That's my question.
Finally, the
Because
fighter
she's
known
gonna
as
get
Hero
nerfed,
will be
but-
distributed soon, but Dragon Quest XI-S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition will release on September 27th, so please check that out as well. We tried a live stream-like format this time, but I'm still not sure if we will do this every time a new fighter is released.
Yeah,
Regardless,
I
I hope you have fun with Hero.
I
See you
did
next
like this
time.
format though. Like watching Sakurai play Smash Brothers, I don't think that's ever happened before on like YouTube. So it is kind of interesting. Also, I like how they added this at the end. It always makes me think of or not always, but it just makes me think of the thing at the end of every replay and shared content. Or just every replay on your own watching. But I'm gonna look up real fast to see if the heroes the time, so